when the kitchen is clean? Well, you do the else if. You just fall into here and you do the next thing. What's the next thing? Well, you would just say else if is the bedroom dirty? And yes, the bedroom's dirty. So we say clean bedroom. And I'm just doing this to illustrate how this works in your day-to-day life. If the kitchen is dirty, clean the kitchen. But if the kitchen is clean, just move on to the next thing. So else if the bedroom's dirty, we'll clean the bedroom. But what if the bedroom's clean? Well, else, let's say, pretty much if both of these, like if the bedroom is clean or the kitchen is clean, well, this is false then, because kitchen dirty? No, it's not, it's clean. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to this part of the code. Well, else if, is the bedroom dirty? No, the bedroom's not dirty either. So I wanna just move on and do this instead. I can have another elif. Elif is the bathroom dirty? If the answer is yes, then clean the bathroom. So I just want to do this to illustrate like how if statements work in your real life, because if you understand how they work in your real life, then code, like I said, it's just like, it's not that hard. It's just a few things you got to learn, and it'll just take time. And if this is a lot for you now, don't worry. Just type everything I type, go through the video again, and you will eventually learn all this. You see that you can, the careers for coding are just so much better. So I want to explain this, how it would work in your brain, and then we can show you the actual code. So here, is the kitchen dirty? No, it's clean. So I'm just going to move on to here. Is the bedroom dirty? No, it's clean. So I'm going to move on to here. Elif again. So you can have multiple elifs. Is the bathroom dirty? Yes, it's dirty. So I need to clean the bathroom. But what if the bathroom was clean? You could have a fail-safe here, which is else. This is pretty much saying, hey, if all this is false, do this. Well, else, play games. Play video games. Because all of this, I said, hey, is the kitchen dirty? Nope, it's clean. So I'm going to move on here. I'm going to say, hey, is the bedroom dirty? Nope, it's clean. So I'm going to move here. Is the bathroom dirty? Nope, it's clean. So I'm just going to move here, and no matter what, since I put else, that's the difference between else. Else is like the fail-safe. Else is like what to do if all the other things are false. So in this case, all of these are false because your house is spectacular right now, super clean. Well, then you just go play video games because else. So if is the first condition, and if you clean the kitchen, you would just jump down here and new code. So now you kind of know how to do this by in your brain, right? How you use it at home. I want to show you how to do this with some examples above. So let's go ahead and go right here, and you can see here this got imported. I don't know why. Delete it. You can see sentence 1 equals hey, what's up. Sentence 2 says yo yo yo, and number 1 equals 45. And number 2 equals 56.56. Now, what's the difference between these two numbers besides the value? Well, number 1 is an integer, right? Because it's a whole number, equals whole number. And number 2 has a decimal place, so what is it? Give you a second to float. So you just got to remember those, so I'll just keep using them. But let's use this if statement. Let's say if number 1 is bigger than number 2. No, let's say if number 1 is smaller than number 2. Let's print sentence 1. And what do you think is going to happen here? If number 1 is smaller than number 2, we're going to print sentence 1. So think about it for a second, and then let's print it, or let's play. It says, hey, what's up? It says, because number 1, you can see is 45, and number 2 is 56.56, and so that's true. This is true. Number 1 is smaller than number 2. So we're going to print sentence 1, and sentence 1 is a string. Remember, string is just a sentence, and it says, hey, what's up? But what if we say if number 1 is bigger. So number 1 is 45, number 2 is 56.56. If number 1 is bigger than number 2, print sentence 1. What do you think is going to happen now? It does nothing. Does that make sense? Because number 1 is 50 or 45. Sorry, I'm a little dyslexic. And number 2 is 56.56. So number 1, in fact, is not true now. It's false. So let's go back to our statement here. And let's say elif number 1 is smaller than number 2. Then we want to print sentence 2. So this is saying, hey, if number 1 is bigger than number 2, and we know that's false because 45 is not bigger than 56, then it would print that. But since that's false, it would go on to the second, the else if, and it would check the condition again. Is number 1 smaller than number 2? If number 1 is smaller than number 2, print sentence 2.